Morning, folks. This morning, this shave, excuse me, will be for Jill. She shaves with Jill, and I thought I would try to do a video similar to what she had been working on. Past couple of videos, or recent videos, I should say. She was working with a Soap Commander, the 2020 tester. I'm not part of that, but I did get some tester samples by the way of the grab bag. So I thought maybe, I think the next to last video she was using an orange sample. So I have a 2019 orange sample here, and I thought I would roll with that with the video, trying to get something close to what she was working with. Also, I have a Gillette Aristocrat. This one here is a older version, if you will, in that there's no notches there on that center bar. And yeah, I did get it up right. There's the blade right there. It has a little bit of a squeak to it, like a mouse. And here's what the blade comes in this particular box in. It does come wrapped single with some glue dots on it, if you didn't see it there in the shaver there. Also going to follow up off camera with the aftershave balm. This one here is called Charisma. And got it whipped up here in a Sarabachi bowl. It does have, it's probably not going to pick up there in the camera, but it does have a little bit of an orange tint to it. Got it whipped up with a DS Cosmetic. This one here is a 26 millimeter knot. This was one of the, she used a DS Cosmetic brush in one of her videos there. And this one here is a little bit thicker than what it was yesterday when I whipped up the shaving cream. This one here is thicker, but it's still on the wet or moist side. I will go ahead and use the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Preshave Cube there. This one here is the ice version, mentholated. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning. It's Monday morning. And for me, I'm still working from home. I work from home, at least so far. The last email I got up concerning it until next year. And still have to get up and get around, though. I just don't have to travel. That's it. We'll go ahead and get started with this. For those that are not familiar, I'll put a link down below to her YouTube video. She passed away here recently, and her last video was that she was really determined to get the video out with the Soap Commander tester that she was working on, even though she was not feeling well at the time. And I thought that would be the reason why to go ahead and, I guess you might say, have a shave similar to what she was working with. And that was her passion, if you will, as well as shaving with shave heads and straight razors and single edge shavers. Matter of fact, that's the where our conversation really started, was with the single edge shavers, in other words, the gem style. And we got to talking about that, and she was mentioning she was not wanting to fall down that rabbit hole, but she did anyway. But at any rate, we had a few conversations about single edge shavers, and they're unique because of the style of blade they use is thick. Not everybody appreciates the shave feel that a thick blade gives. She did quite well with the shave head as well as with the straight razor too. From what I understand, she was, I guess you might say, no stranger to YouTube. I think she had a channel prior to her shaving channel dealing with vapes. Here we go, first pass here. Hopefully electricity didn't go off today. It doesn't happen very often. Yesterday wasn't exactly the warmest day, but there's no telling the reason why it went off. It just went off for maybe about 5 minutes, came right back on. But it was right at the tail end of my video yesterday. It was, and if you haven't seen it at the very end, it was quite dark in here. There's no windows in this bathroom or anything like that, so no light was coming in. Just what little was coming off of my camera here. But when your eyes are used to this kind of light and then it goes completely dark, it does take a moment to adjust. This blade seems to be working pretty well with this particular shaver. I haven't used these blades very much. Can't remember exactly what shaver it was that I was using. It wasn't exactly the smoothest blade. That's the reason why I never shaved with them much. I do have a few of them. In other words, in this particular shaver, it's working pretty well. Not sure what this orange scent from 2019 was supposed to be, but it smells pretty good. My nose is actually working this morning, at least for now. Give it another 30 minutes and it'll be a different story. Yeah, I did whip this one up just a little bit thicker than yesterday. I was right, yesterday's lather was just right on the cusp of turning into this, and I stopped lathering at that point because I wanted something that was wet and drippy. That particular kind of style of lather rinses off pretty easy. Makes for, how can you say, not only a slick shave, but a easygoing shave for cleanup. I have had this shaver set out for a while now. Some number of my, and you say my vintage shavers I have boxed up waiting for December to get here. This is one of these shavers that they're a joy to use. This one here, there's more than, I guess you might say, if you will, one model of these. In other words, there's one that looks an awful lot like this, but it's not gold. It was a, I guess you might say, like a nickel or chrome. That's not the plain, that's just what it looks like. That's referred to as the President model. And it's not cheap when you find it. In other words, these are the cheaper route to go because there seemed to be more of these made than there was the President model. President model looks really nice. Not that this one doesn't. This is one of the few, I don't have very many gold shavers, modern or classic as far as that goes. Kind of far and in between, I guess you might say. Very nice shave though. I mean, this is really an easy going shave. In other words, if you look into getting one of these, it's more of a matter you find the blade that works best for you. Can't imagine the shaver not working well for you. Unless you're, I don't chase BBS, so I don't think it'll be a problem with this particular shaver. I really do like this knot. Flat top, sits perfect right up inside the bowl, just set right on the end, stands straight up. I like that knot. This particular shaver doesn't seem to be overly aggressive by any means, but still relatively efficient. It is fun to shave with it. It's one of those shavers I don't shave with very often because it falls in that category of those razors that it just makes for a smooth, easy, comfortable shave without a whole lot of focus. I think if everything goes well, I will do a short video with the straight razor that I got here recently. Especially it'll be for those that are not accustomed to shave with straight razors. I started out with a Shavette, and for me, that was the cheapest route to go to get started. And most of your Shavettes, the blades are going to be shorter. In this particular straight razor I got, this one here, it seems to be, the blade's not on the short side, in other words. It's on the long side. Quite a challenge for me is learning how to manipulate that length of blade versus a Shavette when you're talking about one that takes a DE blade. It's just a DE blade snapped in half. So that's all the more you're working with. And with a straight razor, you might be looking at 3 inches there, give or take. And this one here is all the 3 inches, and I think it's a little bit more. And with a blade that long, with no more area I have to work with, I can see that this is probably going to be a challenge. And the one that I ordered it this way. This was not the only blade that he could make. It's just I ordered the one with the points, Spanish point, complete with the band this morning. I kind of anxious to get started with it. I'm hoping that I don't cut myself with it. I don't know where to see that mark right there. I don't think it's going to be a mark like that. I think I'm going to have more because of the length, getting the angle just right, making sure I don't dig that point in myself. I haven't had a problem like that before. For some reason or another, this particular shaver, it sure does look like that could be a possibility. I have just a tiny bit. I have to decide on what my next bottle of witch hazel is going to be. Just got a tiny bit there. It was mentioned before, and I have a bottle of witch hazel sitting over here that doesn't have a scent to it. That I was going to add some thyme, and I'm thinking about maybe add lavender with it. I don't know which combination, how many, in other words, drops of each one I'm going to put in there, and decide what that combination might be. And it might be by the seat of my pants. In other words, what my nose picks up. Having a different scented witch hazel. This one here's got peppermint menthol. More peppermint than menthol, but still a really nice cooling effect. Not that I needed this morning. In other words, it wasn't a rough shave or anything like that. But having something that has a cooling effect after a rough shave sure does make a difference on how your face feels afterwards. But this was smooth, comfortable, easy going. This is a pretty good matchup. I'm kind of surprised because, like I say, the last time I used this blade, it wasn't exactly smooth, at least with the shaver I was using. This one here, it worked pretty well. Kind of surprised. But this, if you don't have one of these, now the price range on these, depending on the condition, you can kind of see that, you know, it's lost some of the gold plating on the doors there, but it doesn't have any effect on how it shaves. A really nice shave with these. Enjoy it. Face feels really good this morning. Had a great shave. Like I said, I'll have links down below if you're interested in checking them out. It's Monday morning, so I hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.